and welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in Victoria 3 as we're trying to finish out this USA run that was started on 1.12.1. Probably for watching this on YouTube, the live patch, unless you've rolled back to the rollback patch, is 1.12.2, but we decided to finish out the run on the patch it was started. There we go. So the click here is been annexed. We're going to go ahead and push our PMs into the area. And the ones that require power obviously aren't working. Fair enough. So I suppose that means I should go in there and just toss in a bunch of power plants in each of those locations. We got cold relations. We want to go up against the Heavenly Kingdom. They're a major power. Okay, so they're not unrecognized. We want to probably focus on the unrecognized ones. Because they're going to be less infamy to take over. Interesting. So there's 1.28 million unemployed there, but the rest of them are actually not unemployed. Surprisingly. Lots of peasants, not lots of unemployment. Shaanxi, on the other hand, has lots of unemployment. Okay. It also has oil and coal and iron, so that's probably where we're going to be building up. But of course, I need more government admin. And of course, the new places need government admin. Well, I say the new places. Shaanxi needs new government admin. Much like the other places don't really need it, because they don't have unemployment. Shaanxi needs it and has unemployment. Okay. Oof, government construction in Shaanxi is terrible. Okay, I might want to borrow authority from other places in the country to do some stuff to try to mitigate the problems in Shaanxi. Yeah, let's pull it out of Beijing. Run your gas campaign out of there. Do road maintenance in Shaanxi. That'll help a little bit. Oh. So that brought it up from the min of 95% malice to 93%. So that helped. Not by much, but it helped. I got some mandates. Let's get external trade capped out. And technically, at the lock slot here, I need 10 members in the power block, and we got 7. Is anyone interested in joining? Yes. Let's get them in so we can actually have more. Mandate choices. Here we go. So now when we get the next mandate, we can pick a different principle. In addition to our colonial offices and advanced research. Okay, Chunksy appears to be improving. It was pretty bad, and it's getting better. And we got a lot of work ahead of us here, it looks like. A mournful disaster. After the monumental Olympic left the shipyards, it wasn't long until tragedy awaited her as her hulk collided with an equally imposing iceberg. Well, we've had the Rhode Island equivalent to the Titanic, apparently. Okay, we've annexed Manchuria. Gonna let our infamy come down a little bit while we try to develop the states we just inherited. The game is lagging. Here we go. Yeah, population gone shooting up because we just took over a bunch of people. We now got just short of 10 million peasants. And GDP went up a bit from that. Lowered the GDP per capita, of course, because mostly took over a bunch of peasants. And we now need to employ. Okay. We're gonna want more oil, so let's build up the oil in Shaanxi here. And then we might work on coal and iron afterwards. Yeah, probably the iron afterwards. Trying to very rapidly make new jobs there. Yeah, construction efficiency is already beginning to improve in Shaanxi due to new job opportunities, lowering the number of radicals there. Okay. So, could probably use another one there. Probably eventually in Florida and Wisconsin as well. We've probably got enough in Inner Mongolia, they just need to hire up. Socialist Party of America has even more won the vote, so they are quite beloved. Although I think there is still probably strong opposition from moving to full-on communism. Oh, we need to be revolutionary for that to be a thing. Okay. You know, I think I'm gonna go ahead and raise the taxes again so we can work down the debt just a little bit. It's a little higher than I would like it to be this this position in the game. We don't get to take the debt into the next game, or we don't get to take the unused credit score into the next game, but still don't want to get too far in debt. And then we probably want some more infrastructure here. Let's grab 10 levels. Railroad. Yeah, just get up 10 levels of railroad. And then we'll build all the coal out. Yeah, population growth is definitely down due to the standard of living rising and or the places where the standard of living isn't perfect being high unemployment, I think. Granted, as we're fixing this unemployment, I think GDP per capita is going back up again, so that's good. Wargaming, so that's new training methods. This is another place with pretty high unemployment. You know, I'll actually go and raise another army. That's one way to solve unemployment here. 100,000 new jobs very rapidly going to be made to fill out the army. We could probably use more infrastructure, so we'll put a wave of infrastructure there. Oops, that's the wrong button. Hit the Windows key instead of the Control key. Okay, that's probably enough there. And then, yeah, we're probably still going to want coal and iron, so build all the iron, build all the coal. Unless it's able to hire more. It's probably going to hire more by then, so that's not going to be concerned there at the oil rigs. You may be concerned with the iron mines, but we'll see. Ooh, we got the epidemic popping out. Oh no, this is the silk epidemic. Okay, that's much more manageable. Blame the Italians, or we just accept that it's the case. Accept that it's the case. I'm going to be angry at the Italians. Learned how to resolve the epidemic either from domestic research or from another nation. As I said, encourage agriculture to create at least 75% affected by it for 1 year after discovering a solution. I think one of these is it's probably antibiotics. I probably need to discover antibiotics to clear it. That would make sense. And then places affected by it. We've only got one state it's affecting, so it's only 89 out of 90 fulfill this requirement either is a non-incorporated state or does not have silk plantations. So one of them has a silk plantation and is incorporated. Which is probably Beijing, if I were to guess. As the epidemic. Okay, so you want to encourage agriculture. Yeah, I think probably we're better off with social mobility there instead of road maintenance. Because I think the problem with hiring these guys up is going to be access to education and literacy in the new territory. Not necessarily. Now we've got most of the buildings constructed, not necessarily the rate where we can build the buildings, but the rate we can get people into the buildings to get them to stop being radical so that the new buildings can get built. don't think we need silk that badly. Yeah, even... Well, actually, we are importing quite a bit, so I could probably get away with doing that swap on the urban building. Yeah, okay, that makes you significantly more profitable. Gourmet groceries are complete. Okay. Here's antibiotics. Then we got mass propaganda, mass surveillance, and then we're probably over here. Oh, the other one it could be is pasteurization, I suppose. Actually, given that it probably is pasteurization, we'll do it's either antibiotics or pasteurization. Do it that way around. Good labor-saving ones. Oil turbine. Aid for the silkwood farmers. Sure. Oh, through research and pasteurization. Okay. Yeah. I'll read the journal entry. We know what we're supposed to do. Develop pasteurization. Which we'll have done in 14 months. Oh, you've got a truce. Maybe 22 more months. So you're not who we're invading. Mongolia or the Clique? Clique's going to bring in more people, although that might not be necessarily a good thing. And we'd have to do it in parts, apparently. Okay, so it looks like most people are willing to stay fairly neutral in this war. Looks like we're just going to take the 3 states. Although maybe the infeeble will wind down a bit, then we can take another one. We'll see. Institutions. Oh, I can grab more healthcare. Grab that last healthcare one. You know, slowly working down the debt. Really, other than slowly working it down, we don't need to really worry about it. We just want to be able to know that we can work it down. You know, didn't reduce the infamy enough that I wanted to take more. What we'll do is wait for it to come down and probably take Mongolia or Zaibei. Or maybe wait for it to go down enough that we take big hunks of Korea. Okay, American Dream. Go with that one. Let's, what am I thinking about? Don't have another mandate there. Some time past what I'm thinking. Trying to think about how we can deal with this unemployment problem. We have a qualifications problem here right now. Maybe might be able to deal with it a little bit by building some universities. Yeah, let's just plop in like 5 universities here. Because it's academic clerks and laborers. We've got supply of academics and clerks, and laborers is the free type. Any of the peasants can evolve into it. So that'll open up, hopefully getting transitioning over into other things to work through the ones we don't have. There. I suppose we'll do the same over in Manchuria, because I suspect that might be the problem over here as well. We don't need it for the innovation. We're overcapped on that. We need it for qualifications. That's what I think we do. I think we need. At least that's what it looks like in the coal mine. I think we got a shortage of... Oh, now it's complaining about... Oh, it's people that can become engineers, right? So we got a shortage of engineers. Anywhere where the unemployment's high, we're just going to build a couple universities, see if that can help with promotion, pop promotion. Here's dreadnoughts. Let's upgrade you. And you're in port, so we can upgrade you. Yep, the Russians are having a bit of a bad day. The root of the problem. There we go. Yeah, we'll go and share the gear with everyone. So then, in a year, the epidemic should end. Okay, new states. Oops. Here we go. Health system level 5. That's good. Yeah, big population growth again. We just need to get them unemployed or get them employed, and we should see the GDP rise to go with it. Smaller GDP rise, of course, initially because we took over a bunch of people, not a bunch of stuff. Now we need to give them the stuff. Yep, got a lot of construction projects. We just need to wait for the construction projects to catch up, or for the infantry to come down so we can start another war. Yeah, a lot of the goods are pretty supplied within the market, exception of silk for whatever reason. Well, silk makes sense because we don't actually have a lot of the silk major regions in China yet. But yeah, most of our demand is fulfilled, except for the few things that are just hard to fulfill in the world, which is oil and rubber. Oh, hardwood I should fix. Hardwood is easy to fix, I think. Okay, so we can go down and say, I think it is this time, focus hardwood. That's probably overcorrected on hardwood, to be fair. And if it hasn't, then I just need to make more lumber. Yeah, it hasn't, so it's more lumber time. Okay. Let's improve relations with the Heavenly Kingdom, if we can. And then if I can we get investment rights with you? If it's mutual. Can I do like trade privilege trade? Yeah. Because they're recognized, we're not going to invade them. And they got a lot of people, so it's worth trying to trade with them. 300,000. Well, they've got almost the same population as our massive globe-spanning country. We own a big hunk of Africa, a big, well, the continent of the United States, and a big hunk of China. They still have the same number of people as us, so. Might be at the point where I need to do more construction. Not immediately going to jump on it, because private queue is not that big. Oh, it does appear to be trending to growing. Okay. Search by unemployed. Shandong, Shaanxi. Build the construction sectors there. That'll help bring the unemployment down a little bit, as well as improve the construction efficiency there for future building. Okay, there's enough queued there. Just need to wait for it to build. Anyway, the struggle in this game that you get when you take over places is massive construction efficiency malices there. Unincorporated and turmoil extreme. Although we are incorporating it, right? It's in the process of being incorporated. Just isn't yet. End of the epidemic. That's good. Oops, I'm going to pick up a new mandate. Attempting to go construction for the state construction efficiency. The first two of these would be real useful. Probably not worth doing the internal trade. Don't need per subject. No defensive food standardization. The mortality and the standard of living is tempting. Yeah, I think I'll do the food standardization so we can get the agricultural throughput and mortality down. The other tempting one is the construction one for the state construction efficiency global. But on that one, I just aren't interested in the third tier. So we don't have the empty company slot for it. That one's probably a little bit better if you pick it up earlier. Although, then it's in competition with advanced research. Yeah, my growth rate is definitely down. And I think that's the unemployment. We just got too much unemployed. Statue of History. Essentially, the old monarch stands in southern Julian. Some are suggesting it should be torn down. Tear down the symbols of the old world. Not that I needed to make the trade union happier. In fact, it probably would have been stronger to make the petite bourgeoisie happier and make the loan interest rate lower. But I didn't do that. I don't always do the smart choice. Yeah, feel free to leave the Anti-Russian League. The construction sector needs to expand to meet the needs of our pops to get jobs. Back to normal taxes that way. which would help with getting rid of the radicals and getting more loyalists. Oh, and I've got so many loyalists in the Petite Bourgeoisie now. They're just happy. Okay. Giving the loan interest rate reduction, which is good. Need to queue up more stuff to build. What does the economy need and or want? Rubber. Oil. Okay. Get the ones in Ecuador. Dahomey. Gold Coast there. Oil. Shandong, Xinjiang. Florida. Okay. I think this technically makes Tibet your subject. An XI base, so we're next to Tibet, if that's the case. That's fourth. Since he is in charge, if he dies, the expedition will end in failure. Okay. Leeches. Stop tour. Yeah, we'll go with the one that damages the railway throughput, just the smaller amount. Oh, we've got 10 queued up. Is that me queued up? You know, I can just tolerate putting an extra 10 there and it'll be fine. Oh yeah, I think that is me queued up 10. Let's queue up another 10. And then we want to evaluate potential electrical needs. Mostly ignoring that. For a while. Okay. Oh, do we have any transport needs? That's a good question. Yes. How much should we get off of railway? Like 55 each? So 10 of those will be 500, so we actually need like 60 railways there. Seven there. 6 there. Mass propaganda done. Seth Fairchild is now a member, is now an agitator and fascist. Vigor and greatness. Fascist, reactionary, corporatist political movements. If complete, we'll seize control of the petite bourgeoisie. Okay, so they're gonna go take over the petite bourgeoisie, not necessarily seize control of the country. They want single-party ethno-state, which is kind of the complete opposite on where we are on both those objectives. They want us to move to mass conscription, outlaw the dissent, corporate state, and corporatize the unions. Okay. This is the middle of an election where the fascists are probably losing. But yeah, so in 3 months, we'll have Vigor and Greatness triggering. So the head of the petite bourgeoisie will be a fascist. And then we'll just have to try to keep the petite bourgeoisie out of the White House. Probably get away with more art. Probably get away with more food as well. Actually, I could get away with a lot of art because it's... Yeah, it's just 17% plus market price. That's 1,000 art. And you don't make much per building. It's 10 per building, right? 10 per building, yeah. So it's 100 art academies. And then food. How low is the liquor? Might actually be better for us to change the PM on the food factories rather than build more. Yeah. We'll lose 40 liquor and gain 10 food at the benefit of not having to spend 10 glass each. Okay. Cause the liquor prices shoot up, which is fine. Of course, probably crash the food price a little bit, which is probably also fine. Okay. Presumably hasn't hit the sickly yet. Has he? No, we'll grab character health, because 25% chance of him dying. Would, of course, reset the expedition. Defender of Decency! Washington. So, we can allow him to form a government. Or we can do... We have every right to halt this coup. March on Washington. Seth Fairchild has declared his intentions to march on Washington in the name of seizing power of the United States of America. Yeah, we're just saying it. We have every right to say no. That pisses off the Petit Bourgeoisie, but... Yeah. Yeah, other than losing the interest rate, that's not a big issue. Guns and steam. More prestige from naval power production. Yeah, I think it's a percentage of the population. Our population growth is definitely going down. Although we maybe are keeping it around about 1 million people growing in a year. Just more people means that it's fewer people making people. Unlimited morale loss. No, only the hardiest soldiers can face what is to come. And then, we know Socialist Party won the election. We could bring other parties in if we wanted to and still make a stable government. Although it would be basically the Democrats. Which we really don't need to, so let's have a happy trade union controlled government. Socialist Party of America runs the Republic, the Democratic Republic of America. Mountain survey. There's a chance he dies. No, we'll sideline him. He doesn't need popularity. To be fair, all the fancy mountains in the Himalayas are on the other side of the Tibet from the direction we should be coming into Tibet. Yeah, that wasn't one of the bigger parts of China. Although we got some decently sized ones in Gansu and this place. Yeah, Heavenly Kingdom is mostly put together the rest of China. Probably moving to Korea and Mongolia next. And then our expansion in China will probably be done for a while. That's a little concerning if it actually happens, although it's not necessarily set to. Partially because we're recruiting for the places where all the troops come from in the area. Maybe taking 157 soldiers with them, which we could crush, but we'd prefer not to. And of course, the solution there is probably improve the standard of living. Yeah, Handstead are lower compared to the average in the country. Reduce the radicals. They want jobs. Jobs, 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 and jobs. It's to fix that problem. Now, if they only let us just, you know, build the jobs, then we'd fix that problem for them. District Columbia gets a fluffy zoo exhibit for 5 years. No, we'll just make our notes. Don't need to go capturing the local cats. As much as they're cats. And yeah, at some point we definitely do need to deal with unemployment rate. This is a little bit more of a concerning unemployment rate than it was earlier in the run. Because this is like 7%, 7-8%. Yeah, we got a good welfare system, so they're not completely suffering. But, well, unless they live in the unincorporated states, in which case the combination of obstinance and the fact that states haven't been really stated yet is a bit of an issue. Could definitely do with more iron, so any of the places here that have iron should probably get their iron built. Oh, could even do with more coal. Domestic coal, not foreign coal, please. No, actually, I don't need it in Virginia. Well, we'll take a couple in Virginia. We don't need 40 in Virginia. And then I think we're on to lumber. Not here for bloodshed. I want the Tibetans to like their new overlords. up to 3 billion GDP. And probably with us being at 3 billion GDP, this makes this a good place to put a part break in. If you're watching on YouTube, I believe this will be the episode going up on Christmas for the Victoria 3 series, so I hope you are having a lovely Christmas. And even if it's not Christmas for you, I hope you're having a good December the 25th. If you're watching on Twitch, obviously it isn't Christmas. We're going to be taking a short break here. We've arrived at the part in the stream where I go get a new cup of tea. So we're going to take a short break to go get a cup of tea, and then we'll be back to playing, back to growing that GDP even higher. We've got up to 3 billion. We've got a lot of unemployment to work through, and as we work through that unemployment, that's going to both increase population growth and deal with, well, improve the GDP, obviously, because getting them jobs will improve the GDP. Yeah, that's the plan. So if you're watching on YouTube, there'll be a part up tomorrow. If you're watching on Twitch, I will be back to record as soon as the tea is made. So with that, I'm going to wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next part, and bye for now.